Welcome back, everybody. The next section that I want to talk to you all about is signing in and out of your team groups. Every shift, you will be required to sign in to your shift 10 minutes prior to when your classes start. At that point, you will be required to also sign out of your shift when your time is done. Please note that you will sign in and out, and if you don't sign in, an administrator will actually come and message you to have you sign in. If you don't sign out, you will automatically be signed out at your time that you are supposed to be done. Please also note that if you do sign out before your end of shift, it will result in a deduction of pay and it could get you in trouble, such as a warning. So please remember to sign in at least 10 minutes before your shift and not until the end of your shift. Logging out early can also cause you penalty as well as I mentioned, a deduction in pay. And besides, you have to be there anyways, so why sign out early? It's just something for you to think about. So what are the hours that we can teach? Well, here, as you can see, there is a schedule of our availability. Now, because our company is closed on Monday, obviously there will never be any time that you can work on a Monday. But that leaves our open hours for Tuesday through Sunday. The green is actually our 8 hours availability and blue is our peak times. So when you are scheduling your classes, just remember the blue is probably going to be the best times for you to teach. Please remember that these kids are small and they go all day. So the later the classes that you have as far as availability goes, the harder it's going to be for those classes to get filled. Because the littler kids, if you're teaching with the REACH program, are probably going to be in bed a little bit earlier. Whereas if you have the older kids, they may not be in bed as early, so you might get a little bit more availability. But please keep that in mind as we try to cater to our students. So please also remember, as a side note, that all time is in Beijing time. It's going to be GMT plus 8 hours. So for those of you that are on the East Coast, if the time is 6 p.m., it's going to be 6 a.m. in Beijing. All hours, as I mentioned to you, in green and blue are going to be available hours. The minimum hours that we require you to do are 15. The monthly meeting is going to be obviously one time a month, and it is going to be from 9 to 11 p.m. Beijing time, 9 to 11 a.m. Okay, so your time will be the night before. Okay, it will always come on a Wednesday morning Beijing time, which will then make it East Coast time the night before Tuesday evening. Please also note that you will finalize your schedule during policy training. So please make sure that you have thought about this before. And one other side note for you guys to think about, I know sometimes we get really excited about working and we are very excited about having an opportunity to do as many hours as we can, but please also remember these are early hours. And if you are not used to being or dealing with early hours, chances are it's probably going to be difficult for you. So start off slow if you can with the 15 hours, unless you know that you can move on with more. That way, as you get accustomed to our times and to our teaching and our policies, you can extend and increase your hours if need be. It's always better to start small than it is to start big, okay? It's very hard for you to minimize your hours as opposed to maximizing your hours. So please take that into consideration when you do go to make your schedule and talk to your team leader. It's easier to increase than it is to decrease.